And with that, I'll turn it over to you guys. Oh, real quick, attendees, reminder, just go ahead and throw any questions in the chat or the Q&A, and I'll get those into our presenters. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
Awesome. So yeah, Hare is on the call as well. He's the founder of Routine Factory, and so he'll be answering any questions you may have. So you can just drop those in the chat as we go. So first off, thank you for everybody for making the time and giving us the opportunity to, present for you. So first thing is what we're going to do is you're going to learn a little bit about Routine Factory and who we are, and then as well as why self-reliance is so important and what we've learned through the journey of building Routine Factory. Then I'll give you a short highlighted demo of Routine Factory just to kind of give you the highlighted points of our tools. So, like I said before, for everyone joining, if there's any questions, just drop them in the chat. Hare, one of the founders, will be there, so he can quickly reply to those. So yeah, as we go along here. So who are we? So Hare and Wouter went to school together. So they are two IT guys that really were the force behind Routine Factory. So Hare has children who have autism or who are autistic, and so as they were growing up, he was looking for a tool for just to really help them with self-reliance and independence, and just as a tool for the family to use, and had a feeling that other families may have really had that same problem, and there's just really nothing out there. So being IT guys, they developed AudiPlan, which was the predecessor to Routine Factory, and then now we have Routine Factory, and I'll show you kind of a timeline of that as well. And then they hired Bram, and Bram was a social worker from one of the organizations where Routine Factory is being used. And then I was number 4 in the company. I was looking for a tool for my brother-in-law who I work for. He's autistic, and I've also been a direct support professional and a personal assistant for people of all abilities, really, over about 5 years. So I was looking for a tool for him and didn't really find anything, and sent a message to Routine Factory and got a reply, and now here I am working for the company. And then now we have Yordi. So we're a company of 5 and slowly growing. So in 2007 is when AudiPlan was born. So this was Hare and Wouter's hobby project, and really over the course of 8 years, was just kind of refining it, using it. Wasn't really a main center of focus for them, but after a while, care organizations started really saying, this is great for families and for children and helping in that, but we need something that's a little bit more inclusive and more for everybody. So between 2015 and really 2017, they worked with organizations in their area, so group homes, day services, and assisted workplaces, and building tools and refining them to be used for everybody. So really for, just more of an overarching tool that can be used for people of all abilities. And between 2017 and 2020 was when the info board was born. So I'll show you how that works. So this is think of it as a digital visual schedule, and really refine those tools. And now we have about 350 info boards online in 21 countries. So these are just primarily in the Netherlands. I'm being the first employee in the United States for Routine Factory. I'm still pioneering things here and doing things like this. I would appreciate any feedback and referrals as well, just to really get these tools in front of people to help as many people as we can. So these are just a handful of those organizations and locations that are using our tools and have been for years so far. So why self-reliance? So our tools are really, that's what it's really defined on. So, why does it matter? Well, from our experience and from even my own personal experience is the moment that person finds out that they can do something without having to rely on a staff or a caretaker or waiting for them to finish helping someone else to help them, the moment they do it themselves, they feel more confident. They realize they can do that task all on their own, and it's not as scary or intimidating as it was once before. And then that leads into self-determination, so feeling more determined and just a little bit don't have to once again wait on that person or that staff to prompt them to tell them what to do. So they just do that all on their own. And then self-worth and just feeling better about maybe even just be their abilities or the confines of their abilities, but just feeling better and just I can do these things, and those types of things. So it really just sets a wheel in motion, and it's great to see someone either using our app or the information board or both, and seeing how that can really just help improve that person's life and make them more self-reliant. So kind of an overarching, before I start the actual demo, what our tools are. So we have an app and an online environment. So the app is a daily living prompting tool and a bunch of other tools packed into an app that really help that person, that client, that individual with structure and predictability, and just a way to be more self-reliant. So instead of relying on a caretaker or somebody to prompt them or remind them or tell them, that's all done inside the app, and then it's all managed in the online environment. And I'll show you how all that works. We also have an emotional thermometer, so it's a great way for that person to check in with their emotions, see how they're feeling, and those types of things as well. And then on the other side, we have our info board. So this is for groups. So this is a just completely new tool that is really just defined to help people in a group setting. So think of a day service, group home, even an assisted work setting, where they can find out who's working, what should they be doing, what are they going to be doing next. If you see this little clock on here, they can even see how much time is remaining on that task. So just a very different visual schedule that they can just very easily look at and see, and see how things are progressing throughout the day. And that's fully customizable on really customizing it to either be in a specific area, so it is even as a classroom or a life skills center, or in a group home, and as well as text to speech. So both of our tools are enabled for that as well. So if you work with people who are visually impaired, or there's just some individuals like to have things read out loud to them, and this is a tool for them as well. So what I have here is just a short video that's really shows kind of the practicality of the app. So this is one of the clients that uses our tools from the Netherlands. So it's going to be in Dutch, fair warning, but we do have subtitles, so you don't have to Google Translate a full 2-minute video. So I'm going to sit back here and play this, and just, you guys can just see how this is used in practical day-to-day life.
Ik ben Christa en ik woon hier 3 jaar en ik gebruik nu 2 jaar lang mijn eigen plan. Ik gebruik mijn eigen plan, eigenlijk bijna alles. Eigenlijk zit mijn hele geheugen zat in mijn eigen plan. Ik merk heel veel verschil van voor en na mijn eigen plan. Want voor ik mijn eigen plan gebruikte, motten me mij begeleide Iane heel veel tegen mij en dat vond ik niet leuk. En nu is dat vele malen minder sinds dat ik mijn eigen plan gebruik. Ik heb ook overal UR-codes hangen in mijn kamer. Die heb ik samen met mijn begeleider opgeplakt, dat wel samen. Gebruik ik voornamelijk als dienst die ik al vergeet. Zo bijvoorbeeld als tas gaan inpakken, dat ik gewoon mijn tandborst niet vergeet. Die scan ik ook wel als ik ze nodig heb.
Ik ben Iliana Westhuis. Ik ben persoonlijk ondersteuner van Christa, onder andere op de locatie Polenstraat van Trialen. Wij merken aan Christa dat het echt een positieve verbetering is voor Christa om mijn eigen plan te gebruiken. Ze is er veel zelfstandiger geworden. Het contact tussen ons is anders geworden. Het is wat positiever. Het is meer vanuit Christa zelf dan dat het vanuit ons hoeft te komen. Waardoor je niet inbreekt in haar moment. Maar dat zij kan kiezen wanneer het moment voor haar is om naar ons toe te komen. Waardoor het voor haar gewoon prettiger is om het op die manier allemaal mee te maken. Het is een hele handige tool om te gebruiken om cliënten naar hun zelfstandigheid te laten werken. En je kan er altijd een keuze in maken wat het beste past voor welke cliënt. Christa is een cliënt die heel veel zelfstandig kan, die dus ook echt het helemaal zelf kan bedienen. Maar ook wij als begeleiders of als ouders kunnen makkelijk toegang krijgen tot mijn eigen plan en haar ondersteunen waar nodig.
Ik zou niet meer van mijn eigen plan willen en kunnen. Want het is veel lekkerder werk als ik mijn eigen plan heb, vind ik.
And so that is the name of Routine Factory in the Netherlands. I'm not even going to pretend to know how to say that properly without looking foolish. But really what you can see from this video is, even this is an ocean away, this is a real life experience that we hear even here in America, is it really reduces that friction between that client and that staff, because no one likes to be told multiple times what to do something or to do something, even though that may be the tool to get them to do that thing. So that's really the thing that we see here, is just less conflict, more self-reliance, and just really helping that person build that confidence and realize, you know, they can do the laundry by themselves, or they can do those certain things just, all independently. So let's jump into it here. So what you can see here in front of you is the app on the left side of the screen. So this is going to be this is what the client would use. And then on the right side, we have the online environment. So we're going to start with the app first. So first thing I want to touch on is this is completely customizable. So these pictograms you see here are just what are inside our system, and as well as the colors as well. So first thing we can do is just a very straightforward task. So eating breakfast. So they can either mark this as done, that they tried and failed, or they skipped for today. So, and then you can even assign rewards to those specific tasks just to keep them motivated to continue trying to do that task. So if we mark this as done, it'll prompt a big green check mark, and then that is now striked off the list of things to do. For things that require a little bit more prompting, you can have a checklist. So putting on your pants, putting on your shirt, and once again, you can mark here if you tried or skipped for today. So this is a great way to do some task analysis and see if there needs to be another prompt in that list. So we're going to mark that as complete as well. So we got dressed for the day. One of the next tools that is really different from out there is you can actually use photos from the client's environment. So as we go along here, we're going to be doing the laundry. So as you swipe along, that person can see and even add captions to how things should look every step of the way. So this could be, in this situation, we're doing laundry. So just as we go along, press start, and the laundry is done. So just a great way to help with the familiarity of things. So, you know, how should this look as we go along, and just kind of that level of assurance as well as, hey, you know, you are doing the right thing as you go. One of the next really interesting tools is choices. So really to help, and you know what I do, I get home, I don't know what to do with myself, I have an hour to kill. You know, do I just end up wandering around my house, or can there be something that I should be doing, and I may just need, you know, that reminder. So here we can select from a list of things that are filled in. So I'm going to play a game, and so that's just that is the choices tool that's inside of the app. So they can just reduces wandering, wasting time, those types of things. And then the last thing I'm going to touch on inside of the app is the emotional thermometer. So this is a great way for clients to check in with themselves and see how they're feeling, so they can just identify what the emotion they're feeling. So if they're sad or happy, I usually just do a happy face, and they can even make a note. So this is a great way just to keep an eye on the clients, see how they're doing, and this can be assigned as many times as needed throughout a day or week. So today was a great day. And then they save that, and as soon as they complete anything or they mark it as they tried and failed, they get sent immediately into the online environment. So, which is what I'm going to jump into here next. So here I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. There we go, so everyone can see it. So this is the online environment. So think of it as a dashboard. So this is where everything pertaining to your clients and everything lives. So there's a whole lot to this. We even have an online manual that Hare went through and created, and even a e-course. So instead of feeling overwhelmed yourself, first thing getting into this, there are tools at your disposal to find answers to your questions. So this is your individuals. These are all of the clients that we are serving. They're all just in one location, and this can, so we are logged in under Joe. So Joe, the first thing we see is any task that had rewards assigned to them will be at the top. So if I go over to Joe's and I know that he did the laundry, he deserves his 10 points. So we're going to press this little green button, and then the rewards will stack up. And if we know if he ate breakfast that morning, he gets those points as well. And if he didn't, we just press the X, and then he just doesn't get the rewards. Rewards are just a great way to keep them engaged and motivated, and that can very easily be set up with things that they can cash in and use themselves. So if that's just going on an outing or having dinner with parents or whatever it may be, it's just a cool way just to keep them motivated. And so here we have a timeline. So this is just a very easy way to see when tasks are either being completed or not being completed, as well as the time. So if they're marking that they went to bed or they got ready for bed and it was midnight, it's been a late night. So the next morning may be a little bit rough. So just even a great way for you as a caretaker to keep an eye on things. And you can even highlight specific things to just shorten that down. So if you just want to see strictly emotions for, time going back, you could do that very easily. So this is just a small glimpse into this portion of the online environment. I'm going to keep moving on, that way I don't get hung up. And then so here we have the schedule. So this is where everything is just stacked. So you can just see where, very easily see which things are being completed, and as well as how things are being or not being completed, and those types of things. So, and this is also a great way, if you know that this person has a doctor's appointment or something coming up, you can just very easily add these, add anything you need to their schedule here. One thing we hear is, constantly redoing something, having to, constantly reinvent the wheel. Well, you can go to recents, and this is where all of your most recent activities or tasks and those types of things live. So instead of having to copy them, it can all be done here. So just a great time-saving tool. And then we have schedule wizards as well. So if you're going through and you're not sure how to do something, we have a tool there that just can help you as a caretaker getting that implemented and done. Moving on to the assistants, this is one of my personal favorites. So this is a personal assistant to help with tasks, exercises, or certain situations. So like we saw at the beginning of the demo, if you just joined, I showed how you can do a flip book to show how each step of the way should look. So doing laundry, helping with that level of confidence and familiarity of, okay, this is how things should look, I'm doing it right. Instead of having to go through the app or assign that for a specific time, you can put a QR code on that washing machine or in that area, and as long as they have their app or their device, they just scan it and it will prompt those specific assistants. So just a very easy way for them to receive that notification and complete that task. And the next question is, okay, Pat, now I have 4 QR codes because there's 4 different people that live in the same house. You can actually just use one QR code as long as it's titled specifically the same. It'll prompt the assistant specific to that client. So it's a very innovative tool in that regard, and really reducing clutter and those types of, and overstimulating sticky notes and those types of things throughout the house. And last thing I'll touch on here is coping mechanisms. So if they're inside of the app and they're feeling stressed, they can access their assistant and they can be prompted through ways to calm down, relax, de-escalate themselves. Everything from putting a link to a meditation website on there, or a checklist, or calling their mom, or whatever it may be. Because you can actually just put a phone number in there, and as long as it's linked to a cellular device, they can just tap call and it can call whoever need be. So yeah, that is kind of just the online environment in the nutshell. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this because I have to show you the info board, which is really the app is really the extension of the info board, being a visual schedule, and we all know how important that is to these individuals.
Real quick, Pat, I had a question.
Yeah.
In some of the tasks that you were showing, I saw a Skype button. So is there two-way voice or video communication through the app as well? Kind of piggybacking on Skype,
Yeah. So you just put the Skype account name here. So as long as you have that ID filled in, it's just it's a one tap essentially.
So essentially somebody could use the dashboard that you're showing right now and see that somebody is behind and immediately call in using Skype to that person and see what's going on, right?
Yeah, exactly. Does that sound good to you, Hare, as well? Yes, he's nodding his head. Okay, good. Yeah, and same thing with the call as well. So you can, so I'm doing that kind of fast. So you can just tap on the little creation button. You can go down to call, and you can, select a photo, make it whatever, and then in the how, you just put a phone number in there. So as long as that device is hooked to a cellular, SIM card, you just tap a button and it can call. So great for calling on call or, caretaker, whoever. My brother-in-law likes it because he doesn't have to, it makes him very anxious to sift through his contacts on his phone. So it's just very easy for him to tap and call me.
We have 9 minutes left, Pat.
All right, I'm pushing. I'm going. So,
don't
so
worry.
yeah,
If we
that
go a
is
little over, it's not a big deal.
okay. Cool. Yeah, Harry. See, Dustin gave me kudos. We're cool. Awesome. So that is everything really in the online environment portion in the app. And if you'd like to learn more, I'd love to show you that at a different time. So, like I said, the app is really an extension of the info board. So I'm going to show you just a quick video here of how the info board is used. Once again, it's in Dutch, but we do have those titles, the subtitles on for you as well. So here we go.
Maaike. Ik werk bij Sherpa op locatie Dichtelshof in Weesp. Ik werk hier ongeveer 14 jaar en we zijn net een jaartje begonnen met mijn eigen plan. Sinds we eigenlijk de digibord gebruiken, merk je dat de cliënten heel erg enthousiast zijn. Ze vinden het ook heel erg leuk om met een digitale netwerk te werken. En ook wel handig is dat het informatiebord ook in pictovorm is, op fotovorm is. Dat voor sommigen die dus niet kunnen lezen, het wel ook gewoon kunnen zien aan de hand van de foto's. Wie er bijvoorbeeld wat we gaan eten en wie er komt. Waardoor we ook gewoon naar hun kunnen verwijzen van als ze dus een vraag hebben. Zo van, nou kijk maar even op de digibord, dan weet je gewoon wie er morgen werkt.
Ik ben Eline Stam, ik ben 37 jaar. Ik woon sinds 15 mei 2011 in Weesp. Ik ben zelfstandig bordvuller achter mijn computer via dit roosterbord. Donderdag maken we samen met de begeleiding de menu voor vaste dagen. Ik maak hutspot met een rookworst met mosterd.
Het is gewoon hartstikke leuk om met cliënten gewoon samen zo'n bord in te vullen. Omdat we samen met de cliënt ook gewoon op het informatiebord kijken. En ook dat we samen ook gewoon filmpjes kijken. En om een beetje leuke dingen doen. Dus het is een verrijking van ook het ondersteuning. Maar ook een verrijking in het samenhorigheid met elkaar.
So just for everyone, if anyone's joined recently, it's in Dutch because that's where the founders of Routine Factory live. And so this is just a great representation of, even though this is an ocean away, this is still greatly impacting people's lives. So what you just saw was the info board. So this is a great way to just give overview and clarity to that person so they could find out who's working, any weather, news, organization news. This is a great way to get things out quickly. No more snippets on the wall. So, getting rid of sticky notes and whiteboards. We've talked to organizations that are trying to be more green and trying to reduce paper. So this is a great tool for that as well. And as you saw there, Alina was able to edit the info board herself, so we can even make that open and accessible to clients so they can make those changes themselves. So as you can see here, this is the info board. So this is a little bit larger, just so you can see it very clearly. So when you see my mouse, just think of it as a client's finger, since this is an interactive touchscreen device that's generally mounted on a wall. So very easily they can see who is working, so morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Once again, this all can be customized, however. So if we know that Zach was going to be the night shift, but he called in or he's sick, you can make this able to be customized on the interface of the info board. So clients can even go in and remove Zach and add Mark. And that can be done very quickly, and that just auto refreshes. So we also understand that some clients don't like certain staff and try to remove them from the staff schedule, so they hope they don't show up, and they still do. We can also lock some features as well, so that way that can't be changed. And then we have, just a good morning message if there's any meals today reading lasagna. We have a clock. You can see the weather. This is a newer feature. So 95% of Routine Factory has been built off of organization feedback. So this was one of the most recent updates, which was clothing advice, or just prompting them to what they should be wearing. So it's cold outside, just make sure you're wearing your winter weather attire. So and then if there's any upcoming activities as well. So, and then down below here, these are kind of like on your computer. You have just specific tabs saved. So we have our start page. This is where all the pertinent information lives to the day. We have meals. So not everyone eats meals at home or at the organization, whatever it may be, so they can sign up. So they can just click here, or they can just tap on the info board and then sign themselves up. So that way it's a great way to see who's going to be attending the meal, how much you should make, those types of things. You can even go back to meeting portion control goals and those types of things, and even seeing the meals for the rest of the week. So this is a great way to engage your clients and show them, that they can put meals in the schedule themselves as well. Activities, so upcoming outings or activities or whatever it may be, they can sign up for as well. So if we're going to the zoo today, and this is also a newer feature, I won't get into this here, but you can, clients, if you have a larger organization, they can find themselves quicker by finding whichever group they're associated with. So that's just a new feature that was just implemented last week. So they can find out who, if they want to go, they can sign themselves up, and then that can show very easily who will be attending that outing. And then here we have sticky notes. So obviously this can't be too client specific because of privacy rules. But if it's just a staff leaving a note for another staff that's nothing confidential, or a client that wants to leave a note for a staff, they can just tap here. As soon as they tap to type your message, a keyboard will be prompted, and then they can even select the color they want to leave, and then they can just leave a note, and then they can post it. So great way to reduce paper and those types of things, and just overstimulating sticky notes, really.
Real quick question for you, Pat.
Yep.
How do you guys deal with HIPAA protected information? Is that just kind of a policy that the agency would have to have? Is that stuff cannot be included on here, or is it and not accessible? Or
yeah, it's all kind of, everyone kind of does things a little bit differently. We do have, to kind of jump ahead for a second, we do have an individual tab where this can all be protected. Okay. And I'll show you that here in a second. So activities wise, taking one step back, doing chores, which are very important in any either group home day service, whatever it may be. So clients generally try to sign themselves up for tasks that they don't want to do. So I'm going to try to sign Dustin up because I don't want to make dinner. So kind of going back to even an extra level of security, they can have a PIN code to protect themselves. So this can be graphics, this can be an actual password, those types of things. So we know that Joe cycles over some fruit, so they could tell themselves a story to help to help remember in that way as well. But really just a great way to reduce clients signing themselves up for tasks that they may not want to do themselves, and they want to try to give to another person. So cool. And I was going to show you, as soon as it is assigned via the info board, this is where I said everyone gets excited about the app, but then what really makes it extra special is if the client has the app, if they will get a notification, and it will prompt them that, hey, now you're making dinner tonight. And they kind of can go back to they did it, they skipped it, or they completed it. So just a great way to, hey, we got more points. So great way to keep people, makes me excited, it makes other people excited too. But yeah, so this is just a very easy way to assign chores via the info board, which is a fixed place inside the organization. So then in real time, we go back to the info board, it'll show that these tasks have been completed, or if they had been skipped, or if they've been failed. So a great way for a caretaker to just visibly see and know, okay, that hasn't been done yet, or even for that client to know, oh, I still need to do this. So, and then kind of getting over to the privacy portion, this is where someone doesn't have the app, or they have specific things that they need to be safeguarded. Every organization does this differently, but that's where this PIN code really comes into play, since it is, at that point, it is secure. So this is going to be all of the tasks that are going to be there for that person. So that's taking your meds, going to work, whatever it may be, that can be completed inside the info board as well. And then you can even see what's up next and what's going on for the rest of the week. Did that answer your question, Dustin?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Cool. And then the last thing I'm going to touch on, because I know we're a minute over, is just being able to play games. So this is also it can be a fun thing to do. So we have 2 of a kind that gets harder as you go on. I can never pass the first level because I'm really bad at this game. But yeah, I got some there. But so this is just even a fun way for clients to be able to have some fun wherever it may be, or putting unlisted, or putting a playlist of YouTube videos up on the info board as well. So that can either be just something fun like Animal Planet, or that could be for organizations. We have organizations that create a private or an unlisted video on YouTube, and they can put that there. So, completing tasks, organization news, or just something fun. So that is the info board, really just in a nutshell. And there's a whole lot more to it. That's about 25% of the info board. So like I said, we're kind of running out of time here a little bit. We did have an organization go through and really did a study of their own organization to see how the info board impacted both the staff and the clients. And really, we have the information in front of us. It really contributes to the well-being of the clients, helps reduce the workload on the staff, and just making life a whole lot easier. It even saves 16 minutes a week per employee. And then we have a business study on the back. So really just a good tool showing other organizations that, hey, it's working for them. It can work for you in all these different ways you may not have even thought of before. So that is really the end of the demo. Like I said, I only touched on highlighted portions. So I'd love to, I know comments have been dropping in and Hare's been replying to those as we go, but, we'd love to hear what you think. And then, if this is something that you could, see as a benefit to either your organization or someone you work with, or anyone in between, we'd really love to show you how this could help the clients that you serve, and really just make your organization very different from others in your area. So that is really all I got for you, Dustin. Fantastic. And everyone else.
I'm so sorry we didn't give you enough time to get through everything, because that was amazing.
Touched on a lot.
So if any questions are still out there, please go ahead and get them in the chat. I do have one. I don't know if it's a question or a comment. The app part, it could almost position the app as like a remote support tool, because you're getting real-time information from the home, from the individual, related to the activities that they're completing. And you have the ability to communicate with them face to face, and even they could hold the camera up. So for those of you that are out there looking, for ways to provide remote supports in a little bit of a different way, especially during these COVID times, look at it. Every state obviously is going to have different remote support guidelines and how it can be done, and those kinds of things. So read the regs, but this might be a great way.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's really a way to independently monitor someone. So not having a camera on them or those types of things, but just, making sure they're getting certain things done.
And it looks like we do have a question coming in. Can the info board be used on portable devices for when there's not a central location for the group to meet?
Yep. So yeah, the info board is kind of the nitty-gritty technical side is it's a web page that's custom built. So yeah, it can be used on tablets and other devices as long as it has internet access. Generally something with a larger screen that's touch screen that can also, if they need text-to-speech enabled, has a good microphone, those types of things. And that's something we help with as well. If you have tablets or other touchscreen devices inside the organization already, we can see if it's a good fit. We really just want to make sure that it's going to be a good user experience at the end of the day. So yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks for joining us this week for the Tech Huddle. Go check our website. We do have more coming here very, very soon, and actually having one next week. So thank
Perfect.
you all.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dustin.
Thank you, everybody.
and
Greatly
all of the
appreciate it.
attendance. Thank you.
Have a great day.